Hello, guys. Good morning. Uh, Good morning. Welcome to the session, Welcome to the session, guys. Hope you all can hear me. Can you guys confirm once? Great. Thanks for confirming. So let's start the session. So I hope you all know that our course name is Data Engineering with a Google Cloud Platform. Here in our session today, this is our first demo, guys. Before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Shaik Saidhul. I have more than 8 years of experience into the data engineering field. I have completed my master's degree from National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. Currently, I am working as a solution architect at a MNC company, I would say. And yeah, so that's it about me. Uh, Today, in our today's session, we are going to discuss about first thing, what is data engineering. So if I wanted to become a data engineer, what are the roles and responsibilities that the data engineer do? So that is what we are going to see first. Maybe first 5 or 10 minutes, we are going to focus on what is data engineering. After that, I'm going to tell you what is Google Cloud Platform. Some people know about Google Cloud Platform, some people does not know about it. So let me gonna tell you what is Google Cloud Platform once, and after that, I will tell you what are the data engineering tools that are there in the Google Cloud Platform, and what is the course content that we are going to discuss in our upcoming sessions, and what are the course details, what is the course duration, what are the course timings, and all the benefits that are related to the course I'm going to discuss. And after that, I'm going to give you some time. If you guys have any questions, we're going to be discussing those questions. So that is the agenda today, guys. First, what is data engineering? Next, what is Google Cloud Platform? Then the course content and the basic details related to the course. And after that, question and answer session. Okay, so let us start with our what is data engineering. Let me know, guys, if you guys are able to see my screen also. If you're not able to see the screen or an audio, please rejoin the session. Okay, so that is what it is. Let me gonna start with what is data engineering. Okay, so data engineering is very simple. See, we are getting the data from multiple data sources. We may be getting the data from applications. So maybe every day you will be interacting with one application, such as, for example, you wanted to order food. You are interacting with Swiggy or Zomato. The data is generated there. So wherever you are working, that particular company or wherever the client is working, your client is working on some application. That application was interacted with multiple users so that the data is generated at the application. You guys are not able to see my screen. Guys, can you see my screen or not? Please rejoin the session, guys. If you are not able to see the screen, please rejoin the session. Okay? Yeah. Other people are able to see the screen. So if you guys are not able to see the screen, please rejoin the session. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So you will be getting the data from multiple data sources. So one of that source is application. Okay, whenever some user is interacted with an application, the data will be generated in an application. Okay, so and the next thing is that, for example, if you go to some production firms or a medical firms, the data will be generated or the data will be actually stored in the form of a CSV files or a flat files or an Excel files. Right? If you go to some medical firms, what they do, they try to enter the information in the Excel format. So that is also one type of a data. Sometimes the data may be in the form of a Excel file, CSV file, as well as Parquet file, JSON file, Avro files. So you may be having the data in multiple different formats. And also sometimes the data will be coming from some database. You may be having some MySQL database, you may be having some SQL Server database, or a Oracle database, or a Snowflake, or plenty of other databases are also there. Okay, if the data is coming from some database also, that is also a one of our possible data source. And the next thing is that sometimes you also get the data in the form of coming from a sensor devices, IoT devices. Okay, so that can be like a Internet of Things, I would say, a sensor logs format or a sensor devices. You may be getting the data from that. Okay, sir, we are getting the data from multiple data sources. I have just categorized into these four formats. Okay, but if you go and work in a company, they say we are getting the data from some 20 data sources. Okay, all those data sources comes and falls under these four types. Okay, what is we do, sir? Next thing, sir, data is generated. That is totally fine. So data is generated applications. So the data is there in the file formats. So the data is there in the databases or IoT devices. So what we have to do, sir, as a data engineer, what we have to do? So as a data engineer or as a data business companies, what they think is that if you try to focus on this data gives you some kind of a analysis reports. Those analysis will be very useful for the business improvement. Okay, what the business think is that whatever the data that they have, if someone is trying to analyze this data, if someone is trying to process this data, analyze this data, the data will give you some kind of insights. Those insights are very useful for the business improvement. So that is what the business manager think. So if the business manager think in that perspective, as a data engineer, he will tell the data engineer to properly store this data. The very first thing he will ask us to do is that properly store this data. Okay, so he will ask us to, the business data manager or whoever it is, they will ask us to first do this thing is that try to get the data from multiple data sources and store it into a one single location. Nowadays we are calling as a data lake, so that's the reason I have mentioned here data lake. So this is where we are extracting the data from multiple data sources and we are storing it into one single location. One single location. So that is what I'm calling as a data lake. Okay, so our agenda is to analyze the data, because the business thinking is that when you analyze the data, those analysis will give you some kind of insights. Those insights are very useful for the business. But if I wanted to analyze the data, I need to first store the data or not? Guys, tell me, yes or no? Do we need to store the data or not? Correct. So we need to store the data first. Once we store the data, sir, the data may be having some kind of a problems. It can be having a duplicate. It can be having a different column names, or it can be having a some kind of a null values. It may be having a plenty of problems. Whenever you are getting the data from some data sources, the data may not be directly useful for the analysis. May not be directly useful for the analysis. So if I wanted to, my agenda is to analyze the data. If I wanted to analyze the data, I want the data to be in a single format. I want the data to be processed. I want the data to be prepared for the analysis. I want the data to be properly analyzed. To do that, what I'm trying to do is that I will try to process the data. Okay, why we are doing the processing? The data that we're getting from the data sources may not be in a usable format. Okay, directly not usable format. So we are trying to add some value to the data by doing some kind of a processing on top of it. by doing some kind of a processing on top of it. So that is what I'm calling as a data processing. You might have heard about plenty of the tools, Spark, Beam. So plenty of data processing tools are there. Okay, so plenty of data processing tools are there. You might have heard about Amazon, EMR, or Glue, or Databricks, or Dataflow, or Dataproc, or SpicePark. Plenty of the tools are there. Plenty of data processing frameworks are there to do the data processing, to get the data to be in a processed format or a prepared format, or the data which will be in a usable format. So that is the reason we are going to do the data processing. So data processing is also done. If I wanted to do the analysis, what we have to do, sir? We are moving that entire data to the data warehouse. We are moving the entire data, whatever we have processed so far, that entire data I'm going to move it to the one single location again. The entire enterprise data, if you're running some company, if you're running some business, that entire business data will be there. You may be having sales department, you may be having orders department, you may be having marketing department, HR department. That entire enterprise data will be stored in one single location. That is what we're calling as a data warehouse. A data warehouse is a single repository where entire enterprise data will be stored in a structured format most of the times. Okay, so when you have your data, whatever you are processing from the store, where you get the data from this data lakes, you are processing it, you are loading it to the data warehouse, and from the data warehouse, whatever you wanted to do, you are going to do the analysis. One of that, sir, my manager wanted to find top 10 sales in the last year. So one of that is an analysis report, top 10 sales. Okay, likewise, top two products which are highly sold in last month. So such kind of analysis reports we are going to find, or we are going to do in the data warehouse using SQL. Some use PySpark, some use SQL, some use Python, some use different languages, and they try to create such kind of a tabular reports. Those reports are very useful for the downstream purpose, because whatever the reports that you are trying to create here, those reports are, if I wanted to see the data, for example, if I'm the business manager, if I wanted to get the proper insights from the business, if I look at the tabular charts, I may not be able to get it, because tabular things are like maybe 1,000 records, 2,000, 1,000,000, 2,000,000 records are there. I don't want it to look at the tabular charts. So that's where the downstream people such as BI people, business intelligence people, what they do. So they try to take these tables, they try to create that dashboards or reports on top of it, so that a business manager directly looks at the dashboard, and he try to understand the dashboard and says that, okay, this is our sales trend. It was increased from the last year to this year, but again in the next year it may fall. So such kind of a reports, they are such a kind of a analysis or insights that they are going to get it from this data by looking at that particular dashboard. So that is how business data, business intelligence people, business intelligence candidates, what they try to do, they try to create the dashboard. They try to create the dashboards and reports on top of this data. Okay, so if they wanted to create anything, we have to focus on all of these activities. We need to focus on all of these activities. And the next thing, machine learning. So there can be a machine learning engineer, he wanted to create some kind of a machine learning model on top of this cleaned data. Or then can be a data scientist who wanted to find the future trend. Today is this sales, yesterday was this sales, and he wanted to find what could be the next year sales. So that is what the data scientist will do. And there can be some business manager or a business group what they try to do is that, oh, okay, this is a small table. I can able to easily understand the top 5 sales means only 5 records will be there. Okay, these are the top 5 sales. So let us try to increase the few more items for this particular thing. So such kind of by reading the data from this data warehouse itself, some people directly take some kind of a decisions. So that is what is a business group. So these are all our downstream teams. These are all our downstream teams. So we have a source team, we have a sync team or a destination team, I would say, downstream. This is a upstream, this is a downstream. Source team, where we will be getting the data from. Maybe we are getting the data from some applications or file formats or the databases or IoT devices. We are sending our data to the BI or machine learning or data scientist or business groups. What we first do, we try to store the data, sir. First, we extract this data from these multiple data sources and we try to store the data into a one single location. That is what we call as a data lake. We extract the data from this data lakes and we process it and we load the data to the data warehouses. And again, we have a multiple data downstream teams are there who is going to work on these dashboards, machine learning models, or a data scientist for future trends, or a business groups who will be taking a proper decision on top of this data directly. Okay, so this is what is data engineering. But in this data engineering, we need to ensure the data is properly accurate throughout the system. So that is the reason we are going to work on this data governance as well. Okay, we are going to work on the data governance as well because we don't want to handle these systems out manually. We wanted to create these systems automatically so that we have to monitor the systems. So data monitoring and data governance is also one of the important aspect. Data governance talks about the accuracy and completeness of the data. Data monitoring or data monitoring pipelines or monitoring systems is nothing but monitoring your pipelines every time so that whenever there is a problem in the pipeline, we need to fix it as soon as possible. Otherwise, the downstream people are getting the wrong data. That means the wrong insights are going to be taken. So that kind of a things should not be taken. So that is the reason data governance is one of the important aspects to ensure the data is accurate throughout the system, throughout this entire flow. And we need to properly monitor this entire flow. Whenever there is a problem, we need to fix it as soon as possible. So this is what is data engineering, sir. Okay, so this is what is data engineering. In a data engineering is a process of collecting the data, right? Organizing the data, preparing the large amounts of the data for the usage and analysis purpose. Okay, the main agenda for our data to be do is that we need to properly use it. We need to properly use it and we need to properly analyze it so that the downstream people can take advantage of this data. Okay, to do this entire process, so if I wanted to do this analysis and if I wanted to do any of these things, it involves designing and building the systems and infrastructure that allow the data to be captured, stored, processed, and analyzed efficiently. Okay, if I wanted to do these activities like extracting the data, storing the data, processing the data, analyzing this data, we need to create some kind of infrastructure. We need to create some kind of systems which are working in an automated fashion so that the entire thing will be automated properly using pipelines. Okay, so this is what is data engineering, guys. Okay, so data engineering is a process of collecting, organizing, and preparing the large amounts of the data for the usage purpose and analysis purpose. For doing this activity, we need to create the systems. We need to create the systems and infrastructure that allow this entire activity. Okay, hope this is clear. If anyone have any questions, please raise your hand. Okay, we have quite a few people are here, guys. Please raise your hand so that I can give you if you are facing some issues or understanding the thing. If anyone have any questions, please raise your hand, guys. Otherwise, our next thing is see. Similarly, if I wanted to become a data engineer, what are the roles we are going to? So, what are the responsibilities? A data engineer, what he will do every day, sir? If you ask me, I am going to say he's the one working on the data extraction. He's the one working on the data storage and management. So there are plenty of the storage systems are available. You have a plenty of data lakes available. You have a S3 buckets, blobs. Similarly, you have a GCS. So which one you have to use it? You have to properly select it. Is that particular solution is fulfilling our requirement of providing the access to the multiple people, access control, protection is already available or not, backup is already there or not. So plenty of the things we need to take care during the data storage and management. And similarly, in the data extraction or acquisition also, we need to think about which ETL tool we have to use to extract the data. What language we have to do, we have to use to extract the data. Okay, so we need to think about it, how we can, while extracting the data, are we missing any some kind of a records or not? Okay, if we are missing some records, how do we ensure that the data should not be missed? So such kind of a things we need to ensure in the data acquisition. And in the data storage and management, I just told you, we need to properly select a proper solution for our data storage purpose, and it should be properly managed. When I say management, it's nothing but access control, protecting the data, properly backing up the data. So plenty of the things will come into the picture. Next thing, data processing. So once we have the data, we need to process it. So data processing can be using multiple tools. You can use SQL, you can use Python, PySpark, Apache Beam. So plenty of the tools are there to do the data processing. Nowadays, there are few tools which are useful for the drag and drop tools are also there to do this data processing, drag and drop tools. And ensure that data quality that comes under data governance, we need to make sure the data is accurate. For example, whenever you are extracting the data, you need to make sure that the data is not missed. While you are processing the data, you need to make sure that the data is not missed. So you need to properly ensure it the data is quality throughout this entire process. And system integration, we don't want to do the things manually. We wanted to integrate multiple systems in an automated fashion so that they can be working in a automated fashion every day. So that is what we call as a system integration. Coupling one system to the one more system is nothing but an integration, guys. Okay, one system connected to the one more system is nothing but a system integration. Performance optimization, very important aspect. If you are going for a interview, they're going to ask you one thing, that so have you worked on any performance optimization techniques? Can you give me what are the optimization measures that you have taken in your project? So performance optimization is very important aspect. In our upcoming sessions, we are going to discuss about it. Performance optimization is something that if your pipeline or if your code is taking some time, how do you ensure that it is going to be taking a optimum time? And that is the main aspect of performance optimization. You need to make sure your pipeline or your code or your script is running in an optimum fashion. That means optimum time it is taking. Okay, so that is what is performance optimization. And monitoring and maintenance, as I told you, we need to properly monitor our systems and maintain it. So we need to see, for example, you are using some kind of a package, or you are using some kind of a library, or you are using some kind of a tool. Those tools are properly upgraded so that you are using the latest version of it. Okay, such kind of a maintenance activities you have to take in. Monitoring the systems, make sure that the pipeline is running smooth every day. Okay, so this is what the data engineer do. It's not that you are going to work on all the activities. As a data engineer, you are going to work on all the activities. It's good that if you are working on all the activities in a project, but you may not be able to get a chance to work on all of these areas, because when you are working in a POC, you may be working on all of these activities. But when you are working in a company, you may be working in most of the times, your activity will be here only. 70% of your activity is here. Some 5%, you can say 5%, 5%, that's all. So here also you will be working on. So most of the work you will be focusing on data processing. So that we will be seeing data processing and data analysis and data management using the SQL and PySpark, and we are going to see that. And so all other things are like minimal things. Okay, so here also you are going to work on creating pipelines, system integration, creating pipelines. You are also working on this activity. So this is how you as a data engineer, you are going to work on all of these activities every day. Okay, so that is how it is. So for data quality and governance, there are plenty of the tools are there. So instead of, I would say there is one question, guys. One guy was asking data quality and governance. What are the tools and technologies we are using? So data quality is an actually, it's a process. Okay, it's a process, it's a concept, can be done in most of the tools. Okay, so I wanted to ensure the data accuracy from the SQL. I am getting the data from the SQL server to the BigQuery is one of the process. One of my pipeline is running that way. So I wanted to ensure that the data is quality and complete throughout the platform. So to ensure that, we can use process, we can use algorithms, we can use hash techniques, we can use if you are using a ETL tool, you need to make sure that the counts are matching every time. So such kind of activities you can able to do. It's more of a concept, but there are few tools are also there. Data catalogs are also there. So such kind of a tool is data catalog in Google Cloud Platform, where you can ensure the data is accurate. So such kind of a systems and tools are there. So it's more of a process instead of a tool. I would say it's more of a process that data engineer is focusing on. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is what is data engineer, sir. Does anyone have any questions before me jump on to the Google Cloud Platform? What is data? What is Google Cloud Platform? If anyone have any questions, please raise your hand. Okay, cool. So hope you guys have got to know that at least some idea on data engineering, right? So what is data engineering? Some idea you got it. I think that is more than enough, because in our upcoming sessions we are going to see it in a very depth, how we are going to store it, sir, how we are going to extract it, sir, how we are going to process it, sir, in a very deep, with even with the programming practically we are going to see. So you don't need to worry about it, but as a concept I want you guys to understand some idea. So that is what I have given just now. Hope that is fine. Now we are going to see what is Google Cloud Platform also. Okay, Google Cloud Platform, you might have heard about it, Azure. Let me write Azure. And you might have heard about it, AWS. You might have heard about it, GCP. But you might not have heard about also. So Azure and AWS, you might have heard about it because these are the three leading cloud providers. So these are the cloud providers. I'm mentioning CP, nothing but cloud provider or cloud computing services provider. Okay, so wherever you go, Azure or AWS or GCP, nothing but Google Cloud Platform. So these are the three leading cloud providers. Three leading cloud providers. What they do? Sir, can you tell me what they do? Sir, they provide you cloud computing services. What they do, sir? They provide the cloud computing services. Using these cloud computing services, organizations use these services for application development, for application deployment, for application scaling, for data processing, machine learning models, So for plenty of activities, they're gonna be using these cloud computing services. Okay, sir, we have a three leading cloud providers are there: Azure, AWS, and GCP. They provide you the cloud computing services. These cloud computing services are very useful for the organizations to build their application, deploy their application, scale their application, and do plenty of other activities in the organization. They are going to use these cloud computing services. One of such a cloud is a Google Cloud Platform. One of such cloud is a Google Cloud Platform, sir. So these cloud providers provide you the cloud computing services. These services are very useful for the organizations to build, deploy, and scale applications and services in the cloud. Okay, so very simple, sir. Cloud providers do like this. For example, if I have to talk about it, sir, I wanted to store 100 terabytes of the data. Don't think about cloud platform. I want you guys to think about it and tell me, if I give you some 100 terabytes of the data, how do you store it? A step by step, I want you guys to tell me. Step one. So tell me, if I give you some 100 terabytes of the data, how do you store it? I want you guys to, final thing I want you to do is that I wanted to run some query on top of this data. Run query. My agenda is that I want you to, I'm giving you some 100 terabytes of the data. I wanted to run some kind of a queries on top of it. Those queries will give me insights. Those insights are very useful for my business. Okay, very useful for my business. Okay, so this is what is agenda. Business. This is B, sir. Don't think that this is B only. Okay, so this is what is my agenda. Now tell me, how do you do that? What is your first step? If I give you some 100 terabytes of the data, please, I'm not able to hear you guys. If someone is talking, yeah, please tell me, guys. So partitioning and all of those things later. First thing, tell me, what do you do? First, very first thing. You are now you got to know what is data engineering. Tell me, what do you do first thing? Correct. You do the processing, that is totally fine. But if you wanted to do processing, what do you do? First, you need to store the data, right? First, you need to store the data. First, if I wanted to use store the data also, first we need to extract. We need to think about it, how to extract this data. Okay, sir, I now know that I'll use some ETL tool. I will extract this data, and then I will store it. But tell me, where do you store it?
So based on the data format, so we can store in like databases or like in a data store kind of.
So you don't tell me about cloud storage, okay? And don't tell me about cloud storage, because I am going to tell you about how these clouds are very useful for us. Now tell me, I want you guys to tell me one solution where you are going to store this data. Correct. We can store it in our local machines, okay? And but if I wanted to store it in a single machine, can I be able to store it in our local machine? But if I say my local laptop, that laptop is having around 1 TB, 2 TB, like that only, but I'm giving you 100 terabytes of the data. Now tell me, how do you store it? External storage, that's a very good idea. Sir, now I have told you, my laptop is there. I wanted to store it, but my laptop is only having 1 or 2 TB of the storage, but you are giving me 100. I will try to use some external device. Okay, I will use some external device, maybe some other drives. I will connect it to my laptop. I will try to store it. Okay, sir, even one single external drive is not enough. I will use multiple. Can anyone tell me what is this kind of a system we call it as? Cluster. Perfect. See, it is a distributed environment. right? So I have a lot of data. I am not telling you about 100 KB, 100 MB of the data, guys. I am not talking about 100 GB of the data. I'm talking about 100 terabytes of the data, which is very huge amount of data, very huge. You may be thinking that a TB is a small, but terabytes, when I say as a data engineer, when you're working in a company, you'll come to know that terabytes of the data is a very huge amount of the data. You can't even think about it. That amount of data I wanted to store, but I cannot be able to store it in a single location. What I'm trying to do, I am trying to create some kind of a cluster. I'm trying to create some kind of a distributed environment where single machine cannot be able to store multiple machines. I'm going to connect it to it. So that is what I'm calling as a distributed environment. But tell me, who have to do it? It's me, right? It's we have to do it, right? So that means I have a one more system here, one more system here, one more system here, multiple systems. I have to create it. I have to connect it to them. I have to think about the networking. I have to think about the storage. I have to think about the backup. I have to think about plenty of the things. Right? I have to name it, guys, because if you don't appreciate the technology of the old systems, and you will not be able to appreciate the current trend of cloud platform. Because see here, if I give you some 100 GB, 100 terabytes of the data, it's a very huge amount of data. I cannot be able to use store it in a single system. I can't store it in a single system. I need multiple systems to be available. System 2, system 3, system 4. So if I have to use multiple systems, we need to think about connecting to them, connection. We need to think about networking. We need to think about storage. We need to think about backup. We need to think about multiple other things also there. Okay, so we as a person make sure that we need to have a proper connection to them, each and everything. We need to think about networking, storage, backup, and all of these things. So if I wanted to just store this data, okay, if I wanted to just store this data only, we are facing a lot of issues. We are facing a lot of issues. Okay, sir, I just wanted to store it. Maybe after few days, I wanted to run some queries. Those queries will give me insights. These insights are very useful for the business. That we already know. That we already know. But, sir, my first challenge as a data engineer, my first challenge as a data engineer is storing the data. My first challenge as a data engineer is storing the data. That I can't store the data in a one single system. I need to have a distributed environment. Maintaining or creating or networking or storage or backup or all of these things for doing the storage is very, very hectic task. Creating a distributed environment in a single company is a very hectic task, because it may not be having only 100 TB. Such a kind of a requirements are thousands and lakhs of requirements are there in the company. Okay, maintaining such kind of a multiple distributed environments or multiple clusters is very, very difficult task. So that is one challenge. I just wanted to tell you only first thing. This is our challenge one. Sir, after the data is stored, what we have to do? Can you guys tell me? Once the data is stored, what we have to do? Need to process the data. Perfect. Sir, need to process the data. Now think about it. Storing was itself, it is a very, very a big challenge that we have faced. But next is processing. Processing a very, very huge amount of data is also very not that easy, because it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of computation power, it takes a lot of resources. Okay, so that is our challenge too. Okay, sir, if I wanted to process it, first thing, before it's challenge, before it is a challenge, if I wanted to process it, we need to have a processing tool. We need to have a processing tool which can handle this much amount of data. We need to have a processing tool which we know which language that we can able to use. That language we already should know. Otherwise, again, we cannot be able to do it. So such a kind of things are already there. So that is the reason storing is our first biggest challenge as a data engineer. Next biggest challenge is processing the data. Our processing or transformation both are same, guys. Processing I'm mentioning. Okay, challenge two. Then once you have done both of these things, next challenge is again storing only comes into the picture. Okay, usually the storing here we call it a raw storage, here we call it as a processed data, but it is not that much difficult. It's because we already thought about how we can able to store the data. So whatever the data that you have processed, you have to send it to the one more storage layer where you can able to run some SQL queries. So that storage layer should be come with this SQL as a what we call a query engine, SQL query engine, which should be capable of running the SQL queries so that I can able to run some queries, get some insight. So, sir, now see here, for storage, we have to think about cluster maintenance. For processing, which tool, which language, so we have to think about it. So that is the reason for only for a single storing and running some query for single data and storing some query in your company, you may be having multiple hundreds of the data sets similarly like this. And maintaining, storing, networking, backup of all of these things is becomes very hard. So that's where you have cloud providers came into the picture. You have the cloud providers came into the picture. What they say is that you don't worry about the data storage. You don't worry about the data amount of data. You don't worry about processing the data. You only worry about development. So where we do the development, here we do the development, here we do the development. Right? Right, guys. So if I want to transform it, I need to write the code. If I want to run the queries, I need to write the code. But all other things like storing the data, maintaining the data, networking, all other things are more infrastructure related activities. Right? So what the cloud provider says that they are going to focus on providing the solution to store the data, providing the solution to process the data, providing the solution to maintain the data, providing the solution to do some other activities. Okay, so that is what is the cloud provider do. To give you some idea, I have told you this thing, guys. Okay, so look at here again. So Google Cloud Provider is one of the cloud computing services provided by the Google. So they offer or they provide you the multiple solutions and products for the organizations to build, deploy, and scale their applications and services in the cloud. Whatever you name it. Today, sir, I wanted to do this thing. You can go to the cloud and you can find a tool. You don't need to create any system. You don't need to do the connection. You don't need to do the networking, backup. All the things are already there, already taken care by the cloud providers. What you have to do is that you need to focus on the development. Okay, you need to focus on the development. So cloud providers are one of the cloud providers is a Google Cloud Platform. It provides you the cloud computing services. Those services are very useful for the organizations to build, deploy, and scale the services in the cloud. So one of such is a Google Cloud Platform. Google Cloud Platform is highly reliable, secure, and it provides infrastructure that enables the organizations to use the Google's extensive global network and data centers for their data processing, data storage, and data modeling, all other things. You can able to use the Google Cloud Platform. Okay, it is highly reliable, secure, and scalable infrastructure. It is providing you to do all of these activities. Okay, that is what is Google Cloud Platform, guys. So, what are the services and tools that it is providing, sir? Can you name it? Few, I am going to name it, guys. Look at here. Few such services are it provides you the compute services. It provides you the identity and security services. It provides you the networking services. It provides you the big data services, storage and database services, machine learning services. Okay, so Google is providing you the multiple services which are useful for the organizations to build, deploy, and scale the applications and services in the cloud. Such services are here. The category of services are here, and inside the each category you have a multiple tools. Sir, where we are going to focus on from today onwards? Our agenda is to become a data engineer. We are going to focus on this one and this is two. So we are going to learn about big data services. We are going to learn about storage and database services. So that is our agenda. Okay. So that is what we are going to do, guys. So we need to ensure that we have to properly store the data, process the data, analyze the data, run some queries, create data pipelines, and performance optimization techniques. All of those things we need to do it. So that is what is data engineering. Okay, so let me gonna tell you the course content now. Okay, so let me gonna tell you the course content, guys, so that you can have some idea on what are the tools and services that we are going to learn in our upcoming sessions. Okay, sir, we are going to start with cloud overview from tomorrow onwards. I will tell you why we need the cloud platform. I have given you some idea, but tomorrow I will give you a very, very good idea so that you can able to understand why we need to have the cloud platforms. Then I will tell you on-premises versus cloud. After that, what is Google Cloud Platform? I have given you some idea. Tomorrow also I will repeat one more time. Why learn the GCP? What are the opportunities are there in the Google Cloud Platform? What are the certifications that you can able to do if you wanted to do it? GCP interfaces. Sir, I wanted to interact with the multiple services in the GCP. Can you tell me what are the interface methods are there? Console, Cloud Shell, and Cloud SDK. And all of these things are the course content, guys. We are going to do it. We are going to learn it from tomorrow onwards. I'm going to tell you the course content now. Please listen to it, because if you miss any of the topics, you let me know. I will try to mention it here. The project is set up. So in a console walkthrough, I will tell you how the Google Cloud Platform console looks like, what are the features are there, and if I wanted to go to project setup, if I wanted to do some other setup, how do you do that? So how you can able to enable the APIs and billing. And in GCP locations, we are going to talk about regions, zones, selection criteria, importance, admin, identities, roles, policy, resource hierarchy. Compute options, the basic things. So compute engines, Kubernetes engines, app engines, cloud functions. So these are the basic things, guys. So all these are things, these are the basic concepts. We are going to cover it in 5 days only. Within 5 days, we are going to cover all of these concepts. Okay, this is more of a theoretical concepts. Okay, if I wanted to do interact with the GCP data engineering tools, all of these basic concepts will come into the picture. So that is the reason we are going to first learn about these basic concepts, and after that, okay, after that, we are going to see about data engineering tools. Okay, data engineering tools. We already know that data is categorized into structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. So to deal with unstructured data, to store the unstructured data in Google Cloud Platform, we have GCS, Google Cloud Storage. We are learning about GCS. If I wanted to work with the semi-structured data, we have a OLTP systems and OLAP system. For both of these things, we are going to use Bigtable. I'm going to give you the Bigtable idea. And in Google Cloud Platform, to work with the unstructured OLTP systems, we have a Cloud SQL. And for system, nothing but a data warehouse system, we have a BigQuery, very, very important service. Okay, so when it comes to the storage and database services, 1, 2, 3, 4, we are learning about 4 services when it comes to the storage and database services. Next thing, sir, as a data engineer, the difference between the ETL developers and the data engineers is that data engineers creates the data pipeline using multiple languages, right? Sir, I want to create the data pipelines using the Spark and Hadoop. Can you tell me what service we are going to learn in the GCP? Sir, in GCP we are learning about data prog. In this one, we are learning about PySpark, Python with Spark. We are learning about PySpark, how to create the PySpark pipelines. We are going to use it. We are going to create it in our upcoming sessions. So if I wanted to create a Spark pipelines or Hadoop pipelines in Google Cloud Platform, we have a data proc, which is very, very important service. Using the data proc, we are going to create PySpark pipelines. Okay. Next thing, sir, I wanted to, in my company, we are also using the Apache Beam. So can you tell me how I can able to create the Beam pipelines? In Google platform, we have a data flow where we can able to create the Beam pipelines using the Beam with Python. Apache Beam with Python, you can create Beam pipelines. Sir, I wanted to in my Google in my company we are using the data fusion, which is a code-free environment where you wanted to create the data pipelines and you wanted to do the transformations without writing any code. So that is nothing but your data fusion. So without writing any code, if you wanted to create the pipelines in the GCP, we can use data fusion. So data fusion is a one of the drag and drop tool to create your data pipelines. Sir, we wanted to learn about workflow orchestration tools. We have created multiple pipelines. I wanted to orchestrate them. I wanted to schedule them. Can you tell me about workflow orchestration tools? Sir, we are going to learn about Airflow or Composer in Google Cloud Platform to work with the work orchestration. To do the scheduling of multiple pipelines, we are learning about Airflow or Composer. Similarly, sir, this is an added advantage topic. Here we are going to worry about infrastructure provisioning as well. In Google Cloud Platform, we are talking about Terraform. I'm going to tell you how you are going to create the infrastructure using the Terraform, which is an added advantage for most of these the data engineers because Terraform is not a data engineering topic. But nowadays, data engineers also using the Terraform. I am going to tell you Terraform also. Similarly, few other things are also not mentioned here. PubSub, streaming data ingestion tool. This is also covered. And cloud functions. Cloud functions is also covered, guys, which is a event-based systems. So recently added topics here. So from the last three batches, we are teaching these things also very, very important. These things. So PubSub is nothing but a streaming data ingestion tool. Cloud functions is a event triggered systems. So all these tools are covered. One, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Total 11 data engineering tools are going to be covered in our sessions. Total 11 data engineering services, including the projects and including the end-to-end pipelines. Let me gonna show you my material. I'm going to use this material only guys to you. This is how our material looks like. Let me gonna go and tell you in a descriptive manner what is the course content and all. So the course content we are going to think about the introduction, interfaces, locations, IAM and advanced services, compute options, data engineering services, Google Cloud Storage, Cloud SQL, Bigtable, BigQuery, data proc, data flow, Cloud PubSub, Cloud Composer, data fusion, Terraform. Okay, sir, I have designed this course in such a way that you will be able to get all the things, guys. So in here, this is our resume templates for you if you wanted to. Sir, I wanted to create my resumes. Can you share me some resume templates? You have here the resume templates. Once I provide you the access to my material, you will be having all the things in one place. Interview questions, sir. I am going for the interview. Can you tell me how to tell the introduction, how to explain the project 1, how to explain the project 2, what is the architecture diagram for each project? Sir, can you tell me? Sir, can you tell me commonly asked data engineering questions in the Google Cloud platform? What are the questions asked in the cloud storage? Query, data proc, data flow, composer, pub sub. So commonly asked questions in each and every service I have mentioned here. Okay. And similarly, sir, can you tell me if I go for the interview, they are also asking some coding questions in SQL and Python also. Sir, can you tell me a few things? So here we have commonly asked the SQL questions, SQL interview questions. Commonly, these are directly from the interview only, guys. I have not copied from anywhere. These questions, whatever I am mentioning here, these questions are coming from the interview. I have attended for many interviews. I have helped many people to crack the interviews. These are the questions from the interview only. Python questions also. So what is list? What is the difference between the listed tuple dictionary? All of those things. All the things are mentioned here. Sir, I wanted to do the certifications. Can you tell me what are the certifications we can do? So there are 2 certifications that you can do in the Google Cloud platform, guys. Associate Cloud Engineer certification, Professional Data Engineering certification. The DUMs also available here. The DUMs also available here. Okay, sir, end-to-end project implementation. So you have the video here also. And something. We are starting with, as I told you, we are starting with the Google Cloud, interfaces, locations, I am an admin. All of the concepts are clearly mentioned. So we are going to learn everything practically, guys. So that is the reason I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP. Okay, this free tier account in the GCP is having a validity of 90 days for $300 in credit. So this thing will be very useful for you to practice for next 90 days. Okay, our course is up to 60 days, and after next 30 days also you can able to practice it. So this is very free. I'm going to tell you how to create the free tier account. Don't worry. Okay, I have already created one video to create the free tier account also. I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP in the next few classes, because we are going to learn everything in the GCP only. So we need to have our account created. And after that, working with the case, we have a basic Linux sessions also, guys. One session in basics of the Linux also we are going to learn. And GCS, Google Cloud Storage. So we are going to learn about the Cloud Shell, Cloud SQL. And Cloud SQL, we have a data migration project is also there. And Cloud Spanner, BigQuery, all the BigQuery, working with the BigQuery, partitioning and clustering, all the important aspects are covered. Nested fields and repeated fields, views, assignments, case studies, data prop, introduction to the Hadoop and Spark, Hadoop versus Spark, Spark versus Spark, Spark introduction, cluster creations, lab sessions, case study 1, case study 2, case study 3, assignment 1, assignment 2, end-to-end pipeline, data flow, introduction, Spark versus Beam, data flow versus data lab sessions, template method of creating the pipelines, end-to-end streaming pipeline, streaming data ingestion tool, Airflow, Composer for orchestrating and creating the pipelines, architecture, everything is covered. Level 1 DAG, level 2 DAG, level 3 DAG, and assignment. Data fusion. What is data fusion? How to create an end-to-end pipeline in the data fusion. Similarly, we have a cloud functions, cloud function 1, cloud function 2. Event-based systems, guys, very, very important service. Cloud functions. and Terraform. This is our final topic, Terraform. So how to create the infrastructure in the Google Cloud platform in Terraform. Already some code is already available, so you don't need to worry about it. I will tell you, I will explain you how best you can able to use the Terraform for creating your pipelines. Okay, infrastructure. Okay, yeah. So this is all about course content. And when it comes to the course details, guys, the course duration is 45 hours. So that leads to the 2 months. Okay, 2 months. Daily timings, daily 1 hour, Monday to Friday. We do not have any sessions on Saturday, Sunday. The sessions will be from Monday to Friday. The timing will be 7:30. 7:30 to 8:30. Same timing, guys. Every day, 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. IST. Indian Standard Timings, 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. So delivery online live sessions only. We will be having live sessions. Add-ons, video recordings will be there. Comprehensive material will be there. I will providing you the assignments. I told you, right? The comprehensive material, how our material looks like. So that material is very robust. It will be having all the things in one single place. I will provide you the assignments. I will give you the real-time projects and case studies I mentioned already. We will be providing you the interview questions. I have told you also. Certification dumps, resume assistance. Okay, so all these things are here. The duration is 45 hours, 2 months. Time is daily 1 hour. Daily online live sessions, video recordings will be provided, comprehensive material will be provided, assignments, real-time projects, case studies, interview questions, certification dumps, and resume assistance. This course was designed in such a way that everything is already designed properly for you to crack the interviews. I'm telling you, after 2 months, if you wanted to crack the interview, whatever the things that you need, it was put it in a one package. So that package I'm going to discuss it from tomorrow onwards for next 45 hours. So the prerequisite, some people will be asking me, sir, what is the prerequisite for this course? The prerequisite for this course is that you must have some knowledge on the SQL. Basic knowledge is also fine. If you have some basic knowledge on the SQL, that is more than fine, guys. So at least some basic knowledge on the SQL is more than enough for this course. At least some basic knowledge on the SQL is more than enough for this course. Okay. Next thing, sir, who and all can attend this course? Everyone who wanted to become a data engineer. Sir, I wanted to become a data engineer, aspiring data engineers. Sir, I wanted to become sir, I am a data analyst and data scientist. Can I learn this course? Of course. Sir, I am a software engineer or a software developer. I wanted to enter into the data engineering field. This course is very useful for you. Sir, I am a database and ETL developer. My package is very low. I wanted to enter into the GCP data engineering, where I can able to get the very good packages. Because in GCP data engineer, the packages are very good. Okay, for 3 years, 4 years itself, people are getting 15 LPA, 18 LPA. For 5 years itself, one of the guys got 30 LPA. Okay, for 5 years itself. Okay, so that's how it is. Business intelligence profile. Sir, I am a BI professional. I wanted to learn the GCP data engineering. Can I learn? Of course. So this is how, and those who are planning for the associate cloud engineer certification or a professional data engineer certification, you can also join this course. Okay, because we are going to cover almost all the topics related to those certifications. I'm also providing you the certification dumps as well. Okay, so these are the target audience for this course. Finally, thank you all. So this is what is our agenda today. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me now. One by one, I want you guys to ask me. Please raise your hand. I will go one by one. Please raise your hand, guys. In Zoom, you have a raise a hand option. Please use that, and I'm going to solve your questions one by one. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to paste the questions here, whoever is asking. So based on that, I will give you the answers. Now tell me guys, anyone have any questions? Yes, please raise your hand. Yes, Pratyusha. So the question is that how should I learn the basic of SQL and Python, right? So this is a question, guys, one of our candidate has. So you have to see for this course, base of SQL is important. The SQL development and PySpark development we are going to learn in our upcoming sessions. Those, sir, I wanted to go with this course and I wanted to crack the interviews. I wanted to get a very good opportunity. So those who wanted to go with this course, what they have to do is that we are covering our basics first. As I told you already, we are going to cover these basic modules, GCP basic concepts. During this time, it takes at least 1 week. Means 5 days means 1 week only, right? So during this time, what you have to do is that you have to sit for at least 2 to 3 hours. Make if you sit for 3 to 4 hours, you can able to get the basic idea of all of these SQL questions. SQL concepts. So I am going to paste here the basic SQL concepts in a chat window. What you guys have to do is that you have to put your efforts learning this basic SQL concepts. Okay, so that is what you can go to any YouTube channel, you can able to find it out. So if your mother tongue is Telugu or Tamil or Kannada, or what you have to do is that choose your SQL YouTube channel based on your mother tongue. Basic SQL concepts which I have mentioned here, just to focus on it, more than enough, because we are going to learn our development in the upcoming sessions. Okay, SQL development will be covered, but basics you have to focus on. Okay, yeah. No, these sessions are online only for now, and we are not planning for any offline sessions. But in the future, if we are planning any offline, we'll get to know. But for now, it is online only. Yeah. So this is online sessions only, guys. Online sessions only. Okay, it's live, guys. So today we will be connecting and I will be having the session, so we'll not be able to worry. Yes, Raghavendra. Yes. Of course. We are going to learn about PySpark. We are going to learn about Apache Beam. Okay, so these two things are covered very. I mean, at least 5 days. 5 days we will be focusing on. Okay. No, Python is very easy. We don't need to worry about Python. I will tell you how you have to learn the Python also in our upcoming sessions. So I told you, right, assignments. So I will make sure that during the assignments, how do you learn the each concept in Python? I will make sure so that you will be able to learn the Python. By the time we cover the PySpark, you will be coming to know how we are going to do the PySpark, how we are reading the data, how we are transforming the data, how we are loading the data to the multiple systems, how do we ensure the transformations is proper, how to do the optimizations also we are going to cover. Okay. Yeah. Not in the Python. That's what I'm telling you. Python is not, Python and SQL is not covered here. Okay, but developments are covered because we are focusing on the development. As a data engineer, we need to focus on PySpark development. Yes, that is covered. So, yeah, can I be able to create the PySpark code after this? Yes, you are able to create it. So we will be having plenty of these codes. See here, if I open one of this one, so we are going to do entire things here. All the concepts we are going to cover. How do we do the transformations of? So this is something that is related to the loading. This is something that is related to the transforming. How to do the transformation? Take each and every requirement. Okay, take and each and every requirement and try to transform the data. Okay, sir, once I have transformed the data, how to create the end-to-end pipeline. So that is also covered. End-to-end pipeline, how we create it. Okay, all of these we are going to cover. Don't worry about that. For sure, it is development is 100% covered. Okay, yeah. Okay. So yes, Vivek.
Yeah, yes, good morning. So actually, we have a different types of cloud environment is there. So how will be how GCP will be vary from the different cloud environment?
GCP
And
is not different from any other cloud. Okay, first thing, Azure and AWS and GCP, I don't compare it. Okay, maybe AWS was created maybe some 10 years before, GCP was created some 5 years before. I mean, it was introduced to the market 5 years before. So that is the only difference. But when it comes to the content and when it comes to the cloud services, both are same. Okay, they provide you the cloud computing services for the organizations to do the activities. So it is both are same. The only thing is that the market for the AWS is already settled, Azure is already settled, GCP is growing company. So that's the reason opportunities are very high. Okay, because you don't find the professionals who are already skilled in the GCP. That is the question, that is the important thing, guys. If you go for the AWS, sir, I wanted to become an AWS data engineer, it's not easy. With a course, I wanted to learn a course in AWS data. This is what the people do mistake here. So because I used to teach AWS and Azure, okay, AWS data engineer I have taught, Azure data engineer I have taught, and now I am teaching the GCP. Why? Because I will tell you, see, if you wanted to become a AWS data engineer, you can learn it and you can able to become a data engineer. But learn it and competing with the people who are already skilled, because AWS was introduced like far before. The market is already settled. Those professionals who are already in a very AWS data engineer are very huge. So if you go for one interview, you will be having a competition of 1,000 people. It's because the market is already there, that plenty of skilled professionals are already there. Competing with them by learning some courses, by learning a 2 months course is not easy. Okay, sir, I wanted to become a AWS data, and you can become, but it's very complex. Similarly for the Azure also, because the market is already settled for these things, you can also become a Azure data engineer. I am not stopping you, but learning a 2 months of Azure data engineering course, becoming a Azure data engineer is very difficult, because you are going to compete with people who is having a very good experience, who is skilled in that particular area. But for the GCP, the agenda is that for the GCP was recently introduced and providing the services in a very very cheap for the organization. The services, for example, one service cost is $100 here, one service cost here is $90. GCP provides it only $70 only. So that is the reason companies are looking towards the GCP for their cloud provider. And when your companies are looking for it, there are plenty of opportunities. And already skilled professionals are very less, because GCP was introduced recently. Skilled professionals are very less. So learning a 2 months course, putting for 15 days extra, learning 2.5 months course, and getting cracking the GCP data engineer track is comparatively very very easy. Compared to the data engineer is very easy. Okay, very easy. I'm telling you. You can even get 3 to 4 offer letters also. One of the guy got 4 offer letters, whose package was 12 LPA. He directly went to the 29 LPA. Okay, so that is how it is. So getting the offer letter is easy, but getting the offer letter for AWS and Azure is not difficult, because opportunities are there. Here also the opportunities are there. Here also opportunities are there. Competing with the established professionals is not easy. But here you don't find the manpower at all. There are plenty of 100 projects are there, but only 50 professionals are available. So that's how the GCP trend. Okay, so that is how the you can able to see the difference. But all other things are like the service cost is less and the interface is very easy. Those things are already there. Okay, yeah.
Hi, sir. Actually, after completing this course, can we able to do the certification, GCP
You
certification?
can able to do the certification. So after completing this course, you can go for the ACE. You can also go for PD. So after completing this course, you can able to easily do these certifications, guys. Yes.
Okay, sir. Can we able to access these online recordings, daily recordings?
Online, what? Which one? Sorry.
Uh, a daily
Recordings,
record.
you mean to
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
Yeah, they will provide you the access to the recordings. Don't worry about it. You will be having access to all of these videos. Even some is the I suggest you to go for the live sessions, guys. Every day we will be having live sessions. If you are missing, go and watch the recording video, but don't miss the regular sessions because regular sessions gives you a very good idea. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, you said about ACE certification. Like if I want to do ACE certification only, it
Okay.
also needs like web development deployment also. Like it's not like only if you go for orchestration, Kubernetes we need to do. That also need like web application to deploy on the server. So are you
Correct.
going to?
So associate cloud engineer is more of a, it's a basic thing on almost all the services in the GCP. As I told you, right? When I say almost all the services in GCP, you have this many services. Okay, associate cloud engineer will cover. We should have some basic knowledge on all of these things.
Yes,
So
yes,
getting the basic knowledge on all of these things is time taking, but
yes.
it's they are asking only basics. So we are already covering this thing, this aspect we are covering complete basics
Hmm,
and big data basics, storage and
hmm,
database basics, and
yes,
identity also. Only
yes.
networking and machine learning is not covered.
So
Okay.
if you want to cover for ACE certification, networking is also included and deployment with Kubernetes is also included over there.
Yes.
So that part are you going to cover
No,
like
no, no.
detail?
So we are not covering the networking. We are not covering the deployments. That is
GK,
not covered.
yeah,
Yeah.
Google Kubernetes engine.
Google Kubernetes engine deployments. We are not. Basic knowledge of Google Kubernetes engines, basic knowledge of compute engines, that is covered. But we are
Okay,
not going to focus on those things because that as a data engineer we don't go that
we
area.
don't go for
Yeah.
that. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So if you compare with AWS or Azure basic certification, they don't have all this part covered. Like they,
Correct. Correct. They don't have all of these things. Yes.
o- okay, okay. So is there any other batch like where if I am concentrated on ACE only? Because
No, 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 no.
my
We are
company is
not.
looking out for like for appraisal, I need to do the ACE certification.
No, we are not covering. The
Okay.
thing is that what happens is that associate cloud engineer is just a certification. So
Yes.
we have at first those are people who wanted to go for certification only. At first we started with the certification,
Hmm.
but the roles are becoming, the opportunities are very huge. That's the reason we started the data engineering. But
Hmm.
most of the concepts that are there in the AS are covered here. If you wanted to learn theoretically and practically, this is a very good course for you. And
Okay.
but so if you are looking for the only for the certification, that means
Huh.
you need to put a few more effort on learning few services as well.
Few
That
services.
is it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Vijay Lakshmi. G Vijay Lakshmi, sorry. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Oh, still I can't hear you. Maybe put your question in the chat. Rakesh Raj. Yes. Yes, Rakesh. Yes. Okay. Okay. See, so that's what. See here, guys. One of the guy who is working as a GCP, who is working as a data engineer only. See, he is migrating it from the AWS to the GCP. That's how the nowadays projects become. Okay, because GCP is going to be the market for next years. I'm telling you, you may not to guess it, but GC being a very good professional, very good services when it comes to the data engineering only. I don't talk about other things. I don't talk about CI/CD. I don't talk about machine learning. But for big data, GCP is very very famous. Okay, so yeah, you're telling AWS to the GCP. You're doing the data migration. Okay. Okay. So the thing for the PD is that, yes, I will tell you about that. The thing for PD is that all the concepts, 90% of the concepts are covered, but for 10% is that machine learning. So 10% is machine learning. That is not covered here because so the machine learning also you can focus on because I have done certification because I am a machine learning engineer also. So you can focus on two things. One is AutoML, basics of these things, more than enough. Because only 3 questions will be asked from the machine learning. I'm telling you, not more than that. 3 to 4 questions, not more than that. 3 to 4 questions only they will ask from the machine learning. Even if you don't focus on also, you can able to easily crack the PDE if you are attending my course. So that is for sure. Okay. Only 3 to 4 questions. Still, I want to cover those things basic idea. And number is what is that? I forgot that. There's this service name, guys. I forgot that name. Okay, I forgot it. Yeah, vertex AI. So these are the two things if you focus on, that's more than enough because even though if you are working in a machine learning also, these are the two services you are going to use, not more than that. Okay, so 90% of the concepts we are going to cover, only 10% of the machine learning concepts we are not covering. But if you still able to create it with this knowledge, if you still wanted to go for it, you can go and read about it. So you can able to. I used to teach. Okay, I used to teach AutoML and Vertex AI also for as a corporate trainer. I used to teach this for the PDE people. But now I am not teaching in this course because machine learning is not required for the GCP data engineering. Okay. Yeah. Basic idea is not enough. Basic idea for the PDE is not enough because they will give you scenario. Okay, they will give you scenario. If you wanted to understand the scenario, you need to understand the basic idea first thing. Next thing is practical implementation. So when you do the practical implementation, the scenario you can able to understand it. If you go and read about these certifications, right? Read at least a few questions in the certifications, right? You'll come to know. Okay, they're not just focusing on the basics. Here, the basics will be covered, but here the practical implementation, how do you do that? If you have such kind of a requirement, if you are in that shoes, what do you do? How do you create solutions? So such kind of a things they are going to ask it. So that's more of a practical perspective. So theoretically plus practically you have to learn. Okay. 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 Correct. 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 Yes, of course. That's what this course is more of a practical guide. My model is 80-20 model, guys. For all of you, I'm telling you, my teaching model will be 80-20. 80% it is lab sessions. That means practical. 20% is theoretical. Okay. So 80% we are going to practically implement it. You go my notes and you see it here. Every service we will be having practically how we are doing it. If you can go and see practically the code will be available. So everywhere you can go and see it in data proc also. We will be having here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and end to end. Everything is practical. You don't see any everywhere anywhere it is, and you can see here the pipeline scripts are also you'll be able to see. So everything is practical, guys. We are not covering theoretically that makes you use a good knowledge. Okay, so that's how it is. Yeah. Of course, yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Rakesh. Raghavendra, you have any question? Okay, good. So yeah, Vijay Lakshmi, as I have read your question, are we going to cover the techniques? Of course, we are going to cover the techniques. If you go to the BigQuery, storage optimization techniques, you see here, storage optimization, partitioning and clustering are going to cover. And nested and repeated fields, these are also the optimization techniques. So when you go to the data proc and data flow, also we are going to cover the optimization techniques. So for sure it is covered. So don't worry about that. How best we are going to see it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think, yeah, Abdul, you have any question? Abdul,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I'm coming from development background.
Your voice is very low, Abdul. I can't hear you. Can you talk a bit louder? Sorry?
Hello, how
I
about now?
still can't hear you, man.
Hello,
Yes, yes,
now?
I'm good now. Yeah. Yes, yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm coming from like a development background. Just I want to career transition is the best or
It's a very
I
good
would,
idea. Okay, it's a
but
very good idea. See, what happens is that many people, not only for software testing, so if you are testing background, if you're a development background, if you are, I'm coming from a mainframes background, sir, I'm coming from a some IT guy, system admin. Okay, there can be admins also, right? Sir, my package is very less. I'm spending almost everyone who is spending 9 hours. I'm also spending 9 to 10 hours. Okay, but I could not be able to get a good package. My package is I'm having some 6 years experience only. Sir, my package is around 8 LPA. Sir, some people will be there, right? So they will be having 10 years of experience. Their package is only 15 LP. So for those people, sir, my package is not enough. I wanted to be in a role where it is trending first thing, where the package is also decent and the opportunity is also very good. If you wanted to go for such thing, GCP data engine is one of those things. Okay, GCP data engine is one of those things where you can get a decent package. I'm telling you. For this 6 LPA, if you learn my course and put a lot of efforts for this LPA, from 8 LPA, you can directly go to the 15 LPA for sure. Because I don't say that 16 LPA, 15 LPA, for 6 years, 15 LPA is very huge. No, 15 LPA is not huge. It's because this guy is only having current package is 8 LPA. He cannot go 100% sometimes, right? So that's the reason I mentioned 15 LPA. But there are 6 years guys whose actual package is around 30 LPA. Actual package is around 30 LPA. So there are few people whose package is very good. There are few people, it depends on your current package. Okay. So I'm telling you, this is a decent decision for you. Okay. If you wanted to go for development, testing, or mainframe or admin, if you wanted to go for this one for trending and for a good package, then it's a very good role. Yeah. Yeah.
is there any data analytic tools are covering?
Yeah, of course. Data analytic tools only, data analytics, you meant to say business intelligence, BI. No, actually in the BI, so in one of our project, actually, if you go to one of our project, we have Looker. Looker is a one of the, uh, I'm not going to cover first thing. So I will just tell you how the interface for the Lookers, how the BI people are going to do it by creating one or two dashboards. That's it. Okay, by creating one or two dashboards in one single report, so you'll be able to see. But we are not covering full-fledgedly, but some basic idea you'll get it in 10-15 minutes. That's it. Okay.
Here, how much Python knowledge is required here?
Basic knowledge is not required that much. Basic is enough. Basic, because we are going to cover all the development in our upcoming sessions. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I think yes. Swapan, you have any question? No. So dialog flow is not there. No, actually, in this course, it's not covered here. Yes. But if you want some idea, I can give you some 5-10 minutes, but it's not covered here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So there is Sudhir who is continuously messaging the chat. So retail developers, I have told you the difference. Laptop system requirement, basic requirement is enough, guys, because we are not installing anything. So in our local machine, we are not installing anything. Don't worry about GB, RAM, all of system configuration. Don't worry about it. It's because we are going to operate everything in Google Cloud Platform, which is in internet, which is hosted on the web only. So we will go to the web page. I'll show you. So it will be like this, guys. So we will be going to the Google Cloud Platform like this. Okay, so everything, each and every service is here only. So whatever the services I mentioned, BigQuery, Compute Engine, IAM, and admin, everything is here only. So you don't need a better configuration. Basic is i3, i5 is also fine. Okay, don't worry about that. Yeah. I think I see. So difference between the big data engineering and Google data. Sir, big data and Google Chrome. See, our course is big data only. Don't think that, sir, we are not covering big data. This is big data only. You go and see it. So for example, as I told you already, so BigQuery. Look at here, BigQuery, what is comes under? So BigQuery is one of the big data tool. Cloud Data Flow, one of the big data tool. Dataproc, PubSub, these are all big data tools only. We are not just data engineers. We are going to learn the big data things only. So data engineering and big data, it is not different nowadays. Both are same. Big data engineers, you go for GCP big data engineer, you go for GCP data engineer, one and all both same. There's no difference. Oh, is scheduling, Airflow and Composer both are same? Yes, it is covered and it is both are same. Okay, yeah. Composer is nothing but a Airflow managed service. Managed service of Airflow is nothing but a Composer, so both are same. Don't worry. That's both are same. Yeah. Okay, I think. Yeah, I think that is also covered. I don't see any questions in the chat also. Okay, sir, I don't know Python. How much knowledge is Python? I've told you guys. So basic knowledge is fine. I will tell you how do you have to learn it also. Basic knowledge on SQL, you get it. All other things will be sorted. Okay, basic knowledge. Focus on the basic SQL knowledge. All other things I will tell you how you have to learn. Okay. Yeah. Full-fledgedly within 2 months, I want you guys to learn the course, go for the interview. Within 3 months, you're supposed to crack the interview. That's how the ideal person will be doing it. Okay? Yeah. Any other questions, anyone? I think I've answered all of the people. Whoever is asked the question, I have. Okay, the difference between the cloud engineer, individual GCP, I told you guys. So I have told you the difference is that. So I just given you AWS and Azure. Even I'm telling you, wherever you see the data engineering will be moved to the GCP only. Okay, it's because GCP provides you the very cheap services for the GCP. It's because very cost effective, I would say, very cost effective, and the performance is also very good. So that's the reason GCP is very famous for the big data. Okay, very famous for the big data. So AWS projects, Azure projects nowadays moves to the GCP only. So that's how the thing that you are going to see in the future. Okay, GCP data engineer will be the trending for next 15 years. There is no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
After completion of this course, how much of experience we need to add here, like
Correct.
with our
That's I
existing?
forgot to tell you. Yes, correct. That's a very good question. After completion of this course, it totally depends on. Sir, I have less than 3 years of experience. Okay, I'm gonna categorize it, guys. Okay, so you have less than 3 years of experience. Less than 3 means I'm just mentioning you 2.8, 2.7, 2. Something like that. When I say less than 3 years, means that's it. You can put one to 1.5 years. Don't put more than that. Okay, 1 year. 1 year put it. 1 year experience, you put it in the GCP. Okay, 1 year, 1.5 is decent actually. 1.5 years, you can put it in the GCP. You can put more than also. That's not a fine. But for those 3 years of experienced guy, his maturity level, his understanding the architecture level is little bit low compared to the guy who is having high experience, right? So that's the reason I don't want you to put a lot of experience and struggle in the interview. So that's the reason put only 3 years, 1.5 years. And sir, I have less than 5 years. Okay, put 2 years. Put 2 years as an experience. In the months after completing this course, put 3 years. Sir, I have less than 8 years of experience. Put 2.5 years. Sir, I have 10 years of experience or 10 plus years of experience. Put 3 years. Don't go for beyond 3 years. Okay, don't go beyond. So this course gives you until this knowledge. All this course gives you the knowledge required for the GCP data engineering, entire knowledge for the 3 years guy. We will be providing you in this. I will be giving you that knowledge for the 3 years guy also. 3 years, one guy worked in the full-fledged in the GCP data engineering, including the project scenarios, case studies, assignment, everything is covered in this course. Okay, but if you wanted to create your resume in such a way that according to your experience, try to prepare your resumes like this. Okay, I will tell you guys. So actually, you don't need to worry about it because, and at the end of our last session, at the end of our sessions, give me 1 minute, guys. So at the end of our, sorry, this one person is talking. So at the end of our sessions, last session, I am going to take 1 hour. I am going to tell you how to create resume, how to upload your resume to the Naukri and LinkedIn. When you get a call, how to respond and how to prepare for the interview. So in our last session, I will tell you how to do this activity. We will be having 1 hour session where I will tell you how to create your resume, how to attend the calls, how to upload your resume, all of these things. The best practices are there to upload your resume, which is very, very important. So I am going to tell you this thing in our last 1 hour session. So this gives you, which is going to be very informative session where you will get a very good knowledge so that you can able to create your resume, attend interviews properly. Okay. Yeah. At that time, I will tell you these things like how do you have to create your resume if you have 5 years, 10 years, whatever years of experience you have. Okay.
What kind of roles here? These people, data engineer.
Data engineer only, big data engineer. So some people call it as a big data, GCP big data. Some people call it as a GCP data engineer. Some people call it as a GCP uh, GCP. Some people also call it as a GCP analyst. Also, sometimes I have seen people in some companies they are calling it as a GCP, and some people also. It depends on the companies, guys. Most is GCP big data and GCP data engineers. The role will be like that. Okay, you can go and check it in the Naukri also. For example, you can go GCP data engineers. If you check it, so you'll be able to see here. Okay, on Naukri I have to mention. Naukri, if you go and check it out, there are plenty of offers, GCP data engineer jobs. You see here, there are plenty of companies which are hiring. You go and look into these things. We are going to cover almost all the things. See GCP. So look at here. They are looking for GCP, Google Cloud, ETL covered. So Java is not required. We are learning Python instead. BigQuery, Scala instead, PySpark we are learning. Cloud storage, data flow, everything is covered. So GCP, migration, data engineering, BigQuery, data flow, data proc, job description, data, some flow diagram maybe covered, all the things. So you go and look into it. All the things are covered here in our sessions. Okay. So here, this is how the roles will be there. You will be able to see the roles like this. Okay. So yeah, any questions?
The course is completing in April, right?
It takes 2 months, guys. Yes, it takes 2 months from now on. Yes. March, April, no, not April. I think most probably by April end, but maybe first week of March, April, May, I think. First week of May. By first week of May, for sure, it will be completed. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I think cool. Guys, tomorrow is our demo only. So please attend that tomorrow's demo also, which is very free and you can able to attend it. We are going to start our first basic concepts on cloud. Okay. So please attend the demo session tomorrow. Don't miss it, which is very important. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Have a great day. Thanks for being patient during this session. And please attend the demo tomorrow as well. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye bye.